Okay. That's like 3. Go. Oh my God! He almost made that.
There's basketball on any hoop. Like you can play on any hoop. There's soccer.
Everything is my favorite. We can go bike riding. Yep. We can also even go swimming.
Playing basketball, riding bikes. Pretty much playing everything here.
Playing with my friends and going swimming and riding bikes and almost everything.
Circus, basketball,
Sometimes.
swimming, and all that.
If you do swim lessons, you could go in the deep end. And I go to swimming lessons with my bestie, and she just signed up, so all 3 of us are going to swim.
Yeah. Play with friends, cousins, family, and respecting others.
Yeah, it's nice to respect others, no matter if they're different.
You want to treat people how you want to be treated.
Yep.
If we don't have the youth center, if we don't have these recreational outlets, it becomes a lot easier for our kids to just get wrapped up in nonsense that could lead to their downfall. And so for me, it's important to have these recreational outlets so that our kids have an opportunity to become the productive adults for community who then become our leaders, whether that's our local firefighters, our elected officials, our school teachers, our nurses. I think our children need that foundation to be a child, to have those experiences, to fail, to learn, and not be forgotten, not just kind of locked up, and throwing away the key. And so for me, again, it's essential to have these recreational outlets so that our kids have a chance at a promising future.
Don't forget that you were once children. Adults have the tendency to do that at times. We have a lot to learn from them. They have a lot to learn from us in terms of wisdom and what we went through and how we navigated and got through it. The adults also need to continue interacting with the children to know where they are, embrace the changes, and help them get to where they need to be. I grew up at 34 Columbia Street. That was the first house that I remember us living in, which is where Schuyler Court is now. And right across the street from that house at the intersection of First Street and Columbia Street was the youth center. So that's the first spot that I remember us being able to go to. But the youth department where it is now, I remember being able to go there in the late, I want to say 70s, when girls were allowed to go. And we were able to go on Thursdays. And it was just really awesome to be able to interact with the kids that we grew up with, and then also interact with a lot of other young women in that environment. So it was really good.
When we moved back to Hudson, I came to the Boys Club as a student, trying to hone in my basketball skills at that point in time. I also spent a little time here at the Boys Club as a program director. When I first came to work, it was the Hudson Boys Club. Then we started opening up programming to girls one night a week on Thursday night. And then as it developed, girls were let in for more programming, then it became known as the Hudson Boys and Girls Club. It was a not-for-profit organization affiliated with Boys Clubs of America. So that meant, you had to pay them a charter every year and you were supposed to get X amount of services, but attendance was starting to drop down and the board of directors just weren't able to raise the necessary funds to keep the building and the programming and pay salaries. So the city had the idea that maybe it'd be a good idea to merge the Boys Club with the City Department of Youth. As far as I was concerned, this was in 2005. That was a win-win situation. That's 20 years ago, and I think the partnership has been amazing and worked out great for everybody. Because you have an indoor facility for the kids when the weather's bad, and then you have your outdoor park program for the summer activities.
I attended the youth department as a really young child and then did summer camp from 11, 12, 13, and then I started working as a CIT when I was 14. And ever since then, I've been working with the youth department.
It wasn't until after graduating from the Boys and Girls Club that I realized the impact. For a person like myself, with going on to college and the sorts, I think I underestimated the value of membership and being attached to an organization or an institution like the Youth Center. And so now in my role, that's something that I hope to create for our youth and for our members, you know, a pathway to success, starting with that membership as a kid at the club.
At 13, the Department of Youth, they created a position for me, a recreation supervisor's aide, which was so cool. So I got to travel around with the rec supervisor and go to the different playgrounds and hold the activities, and that's when everybody really started looking up to me, even the older kids. Everybody listened to me, and they followed my direction and leadership, and I just grew up through the ranks. The youth department gave me my first start, you know, to let me see that I can impact and affect kids. They allowed me to be who I was, and during that time there was Mo and Woody and Pat Malloy. They were like my mentors, and I watched them and watched the way they did it, and they did it the right way, and I was like, I want to be like that, you know, where they can command respect with just a look.
Todd Smith had a lasting impact on me. He's still one of my mentors to this day. When I came to the youth center, and even as a worker for the youth center as a teen, he was like that face of like a black adult in a powerful, you know, role, leadership role. It was just cool to see someone from the community who, you know, really cared about us in that type of position.
It's just helpful to me to like just give the kids more opportunities, because you just never know where they can grow from those opportunities by learning new things. Like they may go frog catching and be like, I want to make a career out of this because they love this so much. Or they may say, you know what, I learned how to do knife skills with Sylvia Center and now I want to become a chef. Like, it's pretty dope.
I became a counselor right out of high school, so working with the youth department as well as the summer program, which was like full transition to me because, you know, I was a participant at the youth center and at summer program. That was like the place where you went and where everybody was at when I was younger. It was where you learned how to play sports, where you met a lot of your friends, where you met a lot of staff and people that would be longtime mentors. It was also a place for me where I had a traumatic home life. It was an escape for me as well.
Growing up in this community, resources were limited. And so going to places like the youth center, that's where we were able to really, I think for me, obtain value, you know, in terms of different experiences and meeting different and new people. That was my introduction into going to like my first baseball game, which I remember at the time, it was at Shea Stadium with the New York Mets. They've since gotten a new stadium, of course, but it was a memory that I hold with me till this day. That was my first time traveling to some of the cities in the capital region, whether it be Schenectady, Troy, Albany, and just being able to visit those community centers, which kind of opened my eyes to life beyond Hudson, which, you know, I think is common for a lot of our youth. For one reason or another, traveling is certainly a luxury, and so with the youth department and their resources, they were able to make some of those things a reality for me as a kid.
This is the gym of the Hudson Youth Center, formerly known as the Hudson Boys and Girls Club, formerly known as just the Hudson Boys Club. But many of Hudson's finest basketball players hone their skills in this gym.
For most of my life. The connection to the youth center has given me a safe space and a safe haven to come be myself, and I love coming here ever since I was a kid.
Isaiah Hurd, who's currently with the department, he was always like a living legend here for us, especially amongst the basketball players. At that time, he has scored the most points in Hudson High history. Seeing Isaiah Hurd was a big thing, you know, growing up in the community.
The most rewarding thing about the work I do would be the impact I get from when a child comes to me later saying I impact their lives in a positive way and they're living in a good way. I feel like there were people that I can bullet point like Todd Smith, Tyrone Hedgepeth, George Bindar, Nick Zackos for sure. A bunch of people I can kind of say had an impact on my overall development at the youth center. Just giving me a chance as a kid and as an adult, giving me a job here as a young adult and as an adult.
Ready? I understand it. What? I understand now.
Nah, it's like this.
Right here, right there, right there.
Understand it.
Everybody who knows anybody with the youth department always knows Tyrone Hedgepeth.
Central office, just letting you know, I'm on campus.
Copy that.
One of the biggest things ever when I came here, he always made me try everything. Like I never wanted to always do all the programs, but whenever they came in, whether it was hip hop dance, he made me try it. A budgeting class, he made me do it. Circus class, he made me try it, which helped me because I was working with circus as I got older. Pretty much any and every program we had at the youth department, he made me try every single thing, which was very helpful because I feel like that's why I'm so well-rounded now.
Well, I've started teaching kids how to ride, and I teach them how to fix bicycles. It brings someone pride because they learn how to be independent, and that's such a huge step. And I think that summer camp, especially this camp, it really helps kids learn how to interact with each other and be independent and find new ways of being around each other, which is great. So, yeah, I love it.
Belonging. You cannot overstate the feeling of where you go, you're welcome. Welcome is what stories do for you. Whatever you say, it's yours. You open your book, open your page, every word. You feel the welcoming of belonging because it is your own. And then when you do a story that you share with others, they get to know you. They get to appreciate you and align with you.
Did I do great? I'm an artist.
The youth have taught me to be very patient, and they've definitely taught me to look at where they all come from and see what we could figure out as a positive with everything and everybody that comes into our space. Because sometimes I feel like some of the programs that they've been involved in, they've been like kind of pushed out for their behavior or such. And sometimes those kids, they just need somebody that's gonna just care about them and like be there for them day in and day out.
being consistent, and the people say they need discipline. They don't need discipline, they need love. Just being in their lives daily and showing them that, that you really care about them.
There's not much else for young people to do here currently, and so I think access to those sports is vital. It teaches communication skills, it teaches you conflict resolution, it teaches you some patience, it teaches you how to interact with adults, and likewise the adults to not forget they were once children and interact with the young people.
I get to see the kids every day. They bring a little joy to my life. As a kid, I enjoy showing up with special staff at the youth center to learn from, so I enjoy giving that back to the youth.
When we walked in here today, Bisham Burgess, who I had in school and at different youth programs, he's become my friend. And there's so many kids now in their 60s that I have had contact with over the years. They have become my friends, and I feel so fortunate that I'm able to stay connected with so many of the kids that I had at the Boys Club or at the Blue Anchor or on the playgrounds or in school. That's just a reward of working with kids you didn't realize when you started when you were, 21 years old.
With Hudson being so small, everyone knows everyone. Just growing up as a kid was just really learning how to appreciate those dynamics of, again, I keep emphasizing community, but like friendship, what it means to just be a decent person, just being kind and humble, I think is what has served me well in life. I think that was something that was implemented by my parents, and that's what I hope I give off, especially working with youth, letting them know that regardless, of your circumstances or family history, whatever that might be, you have the wherewithal to shape your future. And if you, enter the world as such, I'm of the belief that good will happen and good things will happen for you.
Every kid has a story. Every kid needs a place to go. And for years and years, the Youth Department and the Boys and Girls Club have provided that opportunity for kids to have a safe place where they can pursue their interests and their activities. People tend to measure a success of a program in terms of dollars and cents and what you're investing in. I don't know how you can put a dollar mark if you've turned a kid's life around.
If this was a new movie, this was called The Oakdale Kids.
The Oakdale Kids. All right.
Sign up. Sign up. Next year it's gonna be fun. Trust the process.